Chapter 3. Courting Potential. As Luigi entered the castle's dining hall, with his elbows still interlocked with Daisy's, he was greeted with a sight that made his eyes bulge to the size of his cart's wheels. The walls were adorned with buffet lines overflowing with an astonishing variety of culinary delights. He spotted fluffy pancakes, golden waffles, and a colorful assortment of fruits like ripe bananas and juicy strawberries. There were steaming bowls of oatmeal, fluffy omelets, crispy home fries, and a mouth-watering selection of meats including sizzling bacon, savory ham, and tender chicken. This was just the beginning of the feast, and Luigi couldn't help but chuckle, realizing that the hardest part would be choosing what to eat from such a magnificent spread. He directed his attention to Daisy, whose eyes sparkled with the intensity of fireworks lighting up the dark sky during a joyous carnival celebration. "Whoa! Get a load of all that food!" she shouted, nearly dislocating his shoulder with her excitement. "I can't wait to dig in." With a swift motion, she freed her elbow from Luigi's grasp and sprinted toward the start of the buffet line, her heels clicking noisily and rapidly on the polished marble floor. Luigi couldn't help but smile at Daisy's spirited energy before he made his way to the buffet line. He selected a plate and heaped it with warm waffles, drenching them in butter and topping them with ripe strawberries. He also added a biscuit, a serving of creamy scrambled eggs, and 2 pieces of crunchy bacon. To wash it all down, he chose a bottle of milk and a bottle of orange juice. Bon sang. He navigated his way to the expansive dining table, positioned in the heart of the room, and took a seat directly opposite Mario. 2 things immediately piqued his interest. Peach was sitting beside Mario instead of her usual spot at the table's end, and Daisy, despite being ahead of him in the buffet line, had yet to find her place at the table. For the former, he surmised that Peach desired to be close to Mario. However, he couldn't come up with a reasonable explanation for the latter. A short while after Luigi settled in, Daisy arrived, expertly balancing 4 plates, stacked high with a smorgasbord of options. She sat them down with a triumphant smile and hurried off to grab bottles of milk and orange juice before returning and plopping in a chair next to Luigi. She scooted closer to Luigi to the point their shoulders touched, making Luigi's cheeks flush with warmth. He, along with Mario and Peach, stared at the mountains of food before them, their eyes wide with astonishment. "So, Daisy," Mario broke the silence, his brow raised in curiosity, "you really think you can eat all that?" "Absolutely." Daisy flashed a confident grin. "This is merely the appetizer." After splashing some hot sauce onto her omelet, she deftly cut it in 2 with her fork and eagerly shoved 1/2 into her mouth. She chewed only twice before swallowing. A soft purred from her lips, her smile radiating satisfaction. With wide eyes, Luigi observed Daisy as she polished off her meal with astonishing speed and grace. Apart from Wario, Yoshi, and the occasional famished Mario, he had never encountered anyone who could eat so much in one sitting. It felt like witnessing a runner conquer the New York City Marathon without breaking a sweat. Still, he had to concede that Wario and Yoshi had the advantage, as they rarely took the time to chew their food. Daisy beamed after finishing her bottle of milk. Well, time for round 2. With uncontainable excitement, Daisy leaped from her seat and dashed back to the buffet, while Luigi watched in amusement as she piled another plate with food. His stomach growled yet again. He became so absorbed in watching Daisy chow down on enough food to satisfy a family of 6 that his own breakfast went entirely unnoticed. He laughed softly while savoring a bite of fluffy scrambled eggs, pleased to find them still warm. Just as he polished off the last of his eggs, Daisy returned, balancing 4 plates stacked so high they nearly rivaled Mario's stature. Daisy, just as she had done the first time, cleared her plates with remarkable ease. However, this time she paused to engage in light conversation with Luigi, Mario, and Peach between bites. Occasionally, she would talk with her mouth full, which earned her some disapproving looks and gentle reprimands from Toadsworth, who was sitting in Peach's usual spot. Unlike the previous occasion, Luigi managed to keep his cool and finished his breakfast alongside the others. Huh, man, that really hit the spot, Daisy exclaimed, patting her belly with glee. Suddenly, a loud burp erupted from her, causing everyone at the table to stare. Her cheeks turned a dark crimson as she bashfully covered her mouth. Sorry about that. Consider it a compliment to the chefs. Daisy's remark elicited an unexpected chuckle from Luigi, a sound that slipped out before he could contain it. This did not go undetected by Daisy, who in response shifted closer and firmly draped her arm over his shoulder, making him tense up in his chair. "Luigi," she purred, her eyebrows arching playfully as a cheeky smile danced on her lips, making Luigi's face flush with heat similar to the breakfast he had just savored. "Seems my burp and the comments that followed amused you. What do you have to say about that?" Luigi felt a lump in his throat as he grappled with how to explain himself. His thoughts were in disarray, swirling around like a flurry of papers caught in a powerful breeze, making it nearly impossible to focus. I'm really sorry," he stuttered, his voice trembling. I didn't mean to laugh. It just slipped out." He was interrupted as Daisy enveloped him in a side hug, her other arm securing him while she pressed her cheek against his. "Oh, Luigi, I was just joking," she giggled as she playfully rubbed her cheek against his, intensifying the heat on his face. "I know it just happened. I seem to have that effect on everyone, you know." Luigi suppressed the urge to roll his eyes as she released him from her embrace. Her eyes sparkled as she looked at him, a bright smile forming on her lips. "I bet you're wondering how I can eat so much, right? Well, believe it or not, I'm quite the active one. I love working out and playing sports in my spare time. Thanks to this, my metabolism is like a race cart, allowing me to feast without worrying about my weight. I'm aware that this won't last forever, but for now, I'm all about savoring every bite." Speaking of sports, Peach chimed in brightly. "The forecast shows a lovely sunny day ahead. I can't think of a better time for a game of tennis. Anyone else feel the same?" "Girl, you know I'm always up for a game of tennis," Daisy exclaimed enthusiastically. "You can count me in for sure." Mario voiced his approval. He then glanced at Luigi, with Peach and Daisy following suit. The way everyone was looking at him made it clear that they wanted him to join the fun. He scratched the back of his head with a small chuckle. "I guess I can play a round or two." "That settles it then." Peach cheerfully clasped her hands together. "How about we meet at the tennis courts at 1? I'll reserve a spot for us. But first, we should help clean the dining hall." The other three agreed and rose from their chairs. "Oh, you don't have to worry about that, Your Highness," one of the castle staff piped up. "We'll take care of the cleanup. Right, everyone?" The rest of the crew at the breakfast table all voiced their support. "Key, are you really certain?" Peach's lips pressed together in a slight frown. "I mean, I asked everyone to rise early and prepare this fantastic breakfast, and I sincerely thank you for that. However, it wouldn't sit well with me to just show up, enjoy the meal, and then leave you all to handle the cleanup without offering my help." "Absolutely, Your Highness," the castle worker beamed. "We understand you have a packed schedule today, and we bet you're excited to catch up with Princess Daisy. It's completely fine if you can't assist us this time around." Toadsworth offered a reassuring smile as he rose to his feet and gently placed a hand on Peach's back. "If it makes you feel more at ease, my dear, I will stay behind to assist with tidying up the dining hall," he offered. Even with Toadsworth's reassurances and the encouragement from the castle staff, the worry etched on Peach's face did not fade. However, as she knelt to embrace her loyal steward, her expression softened into a grateful smile. "Thank you, Toadsworth," she expressed sincerely. She then looked at the staff, nodding in gratitude. "And thank you, everyone. I leave everything in your capable hands." She completed her expression of gratitude with a charming curtsy. The entire staff rose and bowed in return, their respectful gesture bringing an even brighter smile to her face. Turning her attention to Luigi, Mario, and Daisy, she said, I think it's best if we take our leave and let everyone continue with their tasks." Luigi, Mario, and Daisy exchanged knowing glances with Peach, their heads bobbing in unison as they prepared to leave. Upon reaching the exit, Peach paused and turned around to face Toadsworth and the rest of the staff. I just thought of something," she said with a beaming smile. "We should donate any leftover food to anyone in Toad Town who needs it. It would be such a waste for all that amazing food to be thrown away. Wouldn't you all agree?" "Yes, ma'am," the staff declared in unison, their response filled with energy and commitment. Peach nodded appreciatively at the staff, then turned to Luigi, Mario, and Daisy, giving them a similar nod before they all departed from the dining hall together. "I guess this is where we say our goodbyes until later this afternoon," Peach stated as the group gathered in the main lobby. Luigi, Mario, and Daisy nodded in response, but Mario's brow furrowed when he caught sight of Daisy's luggage still stacked against the walls. "Hey, Daisy," Mario began. "Do you need a hand with your stuff? Luigi and I would be happy to help you out." Luigi nodded to show he was on board. "Thanks a bunch, Mario, but it looks like I'm good," Daisy chuckled, motioning to some Toad Castle workers who were already hauling her things off to what Luigi figured was her guest room. Mario flashed a smile and remarked, "In that case, Luigi and I are going to take off." "Thanks for the awesome breakfast, Princess. We'll meet you ladies later at the tennis court." Just as Luigi and Mario were making their way to the exit, Peach playfully tapped Mario on the shoulder. He spun around, only to find her fluttering her long eyelashes at him with a mischievous grin. Mario, are you sure you're not forgetting something?" Peach asked, her voice laced with flirtation. She bent down slightly and puckered her lips, causing Mario's cheeks to flush, a shade more vividly than the rubies decorating her crown. Oh, of course." Mario rubbed the back of his head, his cheeks still bright red. He licked his lips and tilted his head back, leaning in to connect with Peach's lovely pink lips. The moment they did, Peach pulled him closer and intensified the kiss, causing his eyes to nearly pop out. "Woohoo!" Daisy cheered as she pumped her fist and absent-mindedly tightened an arm around Luigi's neck, causing him to question how she had suddenly materialized next to him. "Smear that makeup and shove your tongue down that pretty throat of hers, Mario." Mario and Peach broke their kiss in an instant, their faces flushing a deep red from Daisy's enthusiastic teasing. Meanwhile, Luigi stifled a laugh, pressing his hand over his mouth as he fought against the wave of amusement rising from his belly. Serves them right. After a brief nod between Mario and Peach, Mario reached out to tap Luigi on the shoulder, signaling him to follow as he made his way to the main entrance. Just as Luigi was about to join him, Daisy playfully pulled him back with her arm that was still draped around his neck. "I'll see you this afternoon," Daisy leaned in and whispered to Luigi. Her warm breath tickled his ear, adding a little spark to the moment. "I can't wait to show you my tennis outfit." At Daisy's words, Luigi's face ignited with a heat that could grill a steak. She released her arm from around his neck and flashed him a mischievous wink and broad grin before making her way to Peach. The princesses exchanged nods before gracefully ascending the stairs to the second floor, with the Toad workers hauling Daisy's luggage right behind them. "Yo, Luigi!" Mario teased, jolting Luigi back to reality. "You planning to just stand there and stare at the stairs forever?" Luigi shook his head, a chuckle escaping his lips, as he glanced at his boots in disbelief. He walked towards the castle's entrance, where Mario awaited him. Mario, sharing in the amusement, let out a laugh and gently patted Luigi on the back as they strolled out of the castle together. "Meninas, so, what'd you think of Daisy?" Mario asked Luigi with a curious smile as the two trekked towards their home. "She's something, isn't she?" Luigi scratched the back of his head as his mind drifted to the lively Sarasalan princess. He envisioned her cheerful energy, friendly nature, hearty appetite, and that stunning smile that sent a thrill through his heart. Still, he struggled to form a clear opinion about her, and thus, he settled for the simplest response he could muster. "Well, she's not like Princess Peach, that's for certain." "Ha ha, No kidding. Mario chuckled heartily. She's definitely a free spirit. I was really surprised when I rescued her because I expected her to be as graceful as our princess. It took a little while to get used to her, but I can say she's genuinely good people. He then flashed a playful smile beneath his bumpy mustache. And let's face it, she's pretty cute. Yeah, can't argue with you there, Mario. Luigi nodded in agreement and shared a chuckle of his own. She's very pretty, just as beautiful as Princess Peach. Hey, I'm not sure if I'd go that far. Mario laughed, giving Luigi a friendly pat on the shoulder. There's no one in any universe who's as beautiful as mi principessa. Luigi gave Mario a serious glance that made him stop laughing right away. Fine, I guess Daisy's beauty is on par with the princess's, Mario said with a hesitant laugh. Luigi couldn't help but flash a small, victorious smile. Still, he wasn't going to let Mario escape without a little teasing. He raised an eyebrow and quipped, "Oh, and what about Pauline? I remember you being quite taken with her looks too." "Sure, her too. But that's it." Mario squirmed for a bit before regaining his composure. "Anyway, why are you putting me on the spot like that, Luigi? You into Daisy or something?" The playful glint in Mario's eyes and his last question made Luigi fidget, just as Mario had done moments before. However, as they approached the pipe that would take them home, Luigi found himself contemplating the question with genuine seriousness. The thrill of seeing another human female was a delightful surprise, especially in a world where such encounters felt rare. He thought back to their interactions that morning and felt a budding interest in Princess Daisy. Although their personalities seemed to differ, he sensed a potential for friendship. Yet, when it came to the idea of romance, doubt crept in. It was simply too early to know if something more could blossom between them. To be honest, I'm not sure, Luigi sighed. Even if I did like her in that way, I can't see her feeling the same about me. I don't know about that, Luigi, Mario said. From what I can see, she seems to really like you. She could just be being nice, that's all, Luigi countered. I really don't think she's into me like that. Mario couldn't help but smirk, his mustache twitching with amusement. You really think so? She looked like she loved being close to you. I mean, I saw her whispering in your ear and winking at you. Doesn't that sound a bit flirty to you? Maybe she's just playing around. A bunch of girls in Brooklyn did that, and they weren't really interested in me. And even if she was being sincere, I'd likely screw it up anyway. I've never had the best luck with women, remember? With that mindset, Luigi, you're not going to attract any women. Honestly, I believe Daisy really likes you. She's the type who says what she means. No filter at all. If she's thinking it, she's saying it. Plus, I wouldn't have let the princess convince me to introduce you to Daisy if I thought she'd be unkind to you. Mario quickly covered his mouth. Oh man, just pretend you didn't hear that. With a frustrated shake of his head, Luigi fixed a piercing glare on Mario. Deep down, he sensed that Mario and Peach had schemed to set him up with Daisy, and Mario's accidental revelation only solidified his suspicions. I should have known. He pursed his lips in annoyance at his brother. I bet this was the princess's idea, wasn't it? Mario exhaled heavily and rested his hand on Luigi's back. I'm really sorry for keeping this from you, Fratellino. The princess felt terrible about turning you down and thought you might be feeling a bit alone. She thought meeting her best friend might help you out. Don't be angry with her, and please don't let her know I told you. If you need to let off some steam, just take it out on me. Luigi took a deep breath and let it out slowly before looking at Mario. I'm not mad at you, Fratellone, and I'm not upset with the princess. I know she was just trying to help me out of the goodness of her heart. And don't worry, I won't say anything about you two trying to set me up with Daisy. However, it honestly hurts to know she still feels guilty about turning me down. I knew I didn't have a shot with her, and I've told you both I'm fine and have moved on. That said, I'm still not sure if Daisy and I will hit it off in that way. She's a princess who could have anyone. Why would she choose a shy, awkward plumber like me? Mario grabbed Luigi by the shoulders and looked him straight in the eyes. Hey, Luigi, you've got to stop being so hard on yourself. Don't forget I've been there too when it came to the princess. I mean, I'm not some tall, handsome dude who attracts women like a magnet, you know. But you were the one who made me realize I had something to offer and that she liked me as more than just a friend. Look at us now. We're still going strong. I can see the same thing happening with you and Daisy. Who knows? She might have a thing for shy guys. And I'm not talking about the ones in white masks and red hoods. Luigi couldn't help but laugh at Mario's comment about the shy guys. That said, Mario had a valid point regarding his relationship with Peach. To an outsider, it seemed like Peach was far too good for the humble plumber. However, even the great Andrea Bocelli could see the authentic love Peach had for Mario. Yet, the one thing that gave his older brother the advantage was his status as the Mushroom Kingdom's champion. Meanwhile, Luigi often viewed himself as a mere sidekick, despite having a small group of admirers of his own. Still, a small part of him clung to the hope that Mario was indeed right about Daisy. I guess we'll have to wait and see while she's here. Luigi offered a weak smile. Now that's what I want to hear. Mario gave Luigi a hearty pat on the back and smiled broadly. I have a hunch you and Daisy will be a thing by the end of the week. Hearing Mario's supportive remark brought a glimmer of hope to Luigi's heart. Just as he was about to share his thoughts, he caught sight of a delicate pink stain on Mario's lower lip. Realizing where it came from, and unable to resist the moment, he grinned mischievously at his older twin. Who knows? I might just have her lipstick on me as well. Luigi could hardly contain his laughter as he watched Mario's face twist in confusion. He gave a subtle tap to his lips, hoping Mario would catch on to what he was hinting at. It seemed to work, as Mario absent-mindedly brushed his finger against his lip, only to discover a pink smudge marking his white glove. His cheeks flared with embarrassment, mirroring the stain, and he gave Luigi a small sheepish grin. You got me, haha. Mario chuckled. Now, unless you've got more to say, let's head back and get ready for our tennis date with the girls. With that, he leaped into the pipe's signature warble echoing in the air as he disappeared down it. With a chuckle escaping his lips, Luigi took a fleeting glance at Toad Town before following Mario into the pipe. When he emerged in front of their shared home, he saw that Mario had left the door open, a habit they both shared. A smile spread across his face as he closed the door behind him and headed straight to his room to grab his tennis gear. He looked forward to a friendly game of tennis with Mario and the princesses, and, if he were to be completely honest with himself, Daisy's outfit. Chapter 4. Opportunity served. Now where could it possibly be? Luigi grumbled as he peered into the shadows beneath his bed. Suddenly, a relieved smile broke across his face. Aha! There it is! Nestled right in the middle lay his other green tennis shoe. Knowing he couldn't fit under there or stretch his arms far enough, he stood up and fetched the broom from the corner. Kneeling again, he deftly used the broom to pull the shoe toward him. With the shoe in hand, he perched on the edge of the bed and put it on. He then grabbed his green visor and placed it on his head before standing up and walking to his mirror. Staring at his reflection, he realized his visor was tilted to his left. He quickly adjusted it, pulling it back to the right for a more polished look. Next, he buttoned up his green polo shirt and gave it a couple of gentle pat-downs to eliminate any creases. Content with his appearance, he exited his room and descended the stairs to wait for Mario. The wait was brief, as Mario zoomed down the stairs just a few minutes later. He donned the same tennis attire as Luigi, except he was in his usual red instead of the green Luigi favored. Ready for some tennis, Luigi? Mario flashed a huge grin. You better believe it, Mario. Luigi enthusiastically nodded his head. With a burst of energy, Luigi and Mario grabbed their tennis rackets from their couch and dashed out to rendezvous with the princesses at the tennis courts. Luigi, being the last one out, double-checked the front door to ensure it was locked before catching up with Mario at the pipe leading to Toad Town. The Mario brothers promptly checked in at the front desk after arriving at the tennis courts. A cheerful Toad staff member informed them that the princesses were already there and booked their court. After receiving directions, Mario and Luigi thanked the worker and set off toward their designated area. "Hey, Luigi, hold on a minute," Mario exclaimed as he came to a sudden stop. "I've got to use the bathroom." With an exasperated sigh, Luigi shook his head. "Why didn't you go before we left?" "Because I didn't have to then," Mario retorted, as if it was the most obvious thing in the world. Luigi sighed again as he chuckled lightheartedly. "What am I going to do with you? Want me to wait for you? Go ahead without me. I'll be quick." "Okay, see you at the court." Mario acknowledged Luigi with a nod before making his way toward the restroom. Luigi kept his eyes on Mario until he vanished behind the restroom door. Then he pressed on toward the court. "Luigi, over here!" Princess Peach called out, her hand waving enthusiastically as he drew closer to the designated court. Her excitement was palpable, lighting up the space around her. With a spring in his step, Luigi hurried over, and Peach beamed at him with a cheerful smile. The princess was clad in her signature tennis ensemble, a pink sleeveless dress that gracefully ended at mid-thigh. Her outfit was accented by a chic pink and white wristband on her right wrist, pink and white tennis shoes, and short white socks. Her long blonde hair was styled in a ponytail, held in place by a sapphire scrunchie, and her crown rested gracefully on her head. "Oh, say, Luigi, where's Mario?" Peach inquired as her eyes swept her surroundings. "Oh, he's in the restroom." Luigi offered her a warm smile. "He'll be joining us soon." Curiously, he glanced around before returning his attention to Peach. "I guess I can ask the same about Daisy." "She's still in the locker room," Peach giggled. "She mentioned she had a few things to take care of. She should be along shortly." Silence lingered for a moment before Peach smiled gently at Luigi. "How about we sit down and chat while we wait for those two? It feels like forever since the two of us have had a chance to talk." "Yeah," Luigi agreed as he became wistful. "The last time we talked like this was when I confessed my feelings for you after you and Mario became a couple." Peach nodded as her smile dimmed like a flickering candle. She tenderly grasped Luigi's wrist and guided him to a bench at the court's edge, for which he offered no resistance. They sat side by side, glancing around for any signs of Mario and Daisy. "So," Peach broke the silence as she fiddled with her fingers, "forgive me if I'm being too forward, but what do you think about Daisy?" A light chuckle almost slipped from Luigi's lips as he remembered how Mario had posed the same question earlier in the day. He was well aware that both she and Mario were eager for him and Daisy to bond, maybe develop something deeper, thanks to his brother's accidental slip. Nevertheless, he had given his word that he wouldn't spill the beans to Peach, so he had to act as if he was hearing this for the first time. "Well, she seems nice," Luigi replied. "A bit on the energetic side, but definitely friendly." "That's Daisy in a nutshell." Peach's laughter floated around them like music. "I've been friends with her since we were kids, and she's always been like that." A playful smile danced on her lips. "She seems to have taken a liking to you." "Not this again." Luigi suppressed the urge to roll his eyes. "I bet she acts like that with everyone." "As long as I've known Daisy, she's never been the type to casually nudge those next to her. Neither has she randomly whispered in anyone's ear, nor flirtatiously winked at them. I have, however, witnessed her flirting with some guys, similar to how she interacted with you. Call it woman's intuition, but I truly believe Daisy has a genuine interest in you." Luigi sighed deeply as he took in Peach's encouraging words. She was trying to convince him that Daisy sincerely liked him, much like Mario had suggested earlier. This time, however, the hope blossoming within him felt even more potent, bolstered by Peach's insight into Daisy's character. He trusted Peach. She wouldn't lead him astray, nor set him up for an emotional fall. Sure, she loved to tease him and play harmless pranks, but she would never intentionally put him in a situation that could shatter his heart. If she believed Daisy's affection toward him was sincere, he was willing to trust her judgment until he had reason to doubt it. "Okay, if you say so." Luigi smiled softly at her. Peach gently rested her hand on his shoulder, mirroring his expression. "I sincerely hope you and Daisy can become friends." Her smile then faded some. This may be presumptuous of me, but I have a feeling you've been feeling somewhat like a third wheel since Mario and I became a couple. I've sensed a bit of loneliness in you, especially given how close you and Mario are. Also, it seems like you might be longing for a relationship similar to what Mario and I share. See, Luigi's shoulders stiffened at Peach's remarks as he sighed yet again. He wanted to dispute her words, but he couldn't deny that her astute insight was entirely accurate. Then again, he had never been adept at concealing his emotions, and he knew there were moments in which his body language betrayed his true feelings in hers and Mario's presence. He acknowledged Peach with a nod and small smile, with her reciprocating both actions. "There you guys are!" The unmistakable, joyful voice drew Luigi and Peach's gaze. A red blur dashed toward them, sharpening into the figure of Mario as he got closer. He greeted Luigi and Peach with a huge smile. "Think about what I said and please give Daisy a chance," Peach pleaded as she rose from the bench. "I will," Luigi promised. "Thank you, Luigi." Peach gently patted him on the shoulder. "I have a feeling she'll be great for you." She flashed Luigi another small smile before striding towards Mario and wrapping her arms around him in a warm embrace, which he happily returned. "Say, where's Daisy?" Mario asked as he and Peach broke their hug. Peach's brow furrowed as she surveyed her surroundings. "Perhaps she's still in the locker room. I really thought she would have shown up by now. Here I am. Sorry about the wait." A soft chuckle escaped Luigi's lips as he instantly identified the bright voice as Daisy's. He turned his head in the direction from which her voice came, and what greeted him required all his facial strength to keep his jaw from plummeting faster than a spiny egg flung by a lakitu. As Daisy came to an abrupt stop in front of everyone, Luigi seized the moment to drink in her appearance from the ground up. Her feet were adorned with what appeared to be white socks, barely peeking out from her orange and white tennis shoes. Long, sculpted tan legs were accentuated by a pair of dark orange shorts that ended well above mid-thigh. A sleeveless yellow top embellished with a white petal collar and flower brooch clung to her torso. The top showcased her lean yet toned arms that shared the same golden hue as her legs, while also highlighting what appeared to be contours of a six-pack. Her right wrist sported a striped wristband similar to Peach's, except hers was orange and yellow. Like Peach, Daisy still wore her crown. Luigi had one undeniable thought as he ogled Daisy. The gown she had donned earlier failed to do her figure any justice. Daisy smirked triumphantly after studying Luigi with a scrutinizing look for a brief moment, causing Luigi's cheeks to channel their inner stove burners. She then pivoted her attention towards Mario and Peach. "Did y'all wait long?" "Not at all, dear," Peach assured her, with Mario nodding along. "Oh, thank goodness." Daisy placed a hand over her brooch. "I couldn't find my suntan lotion and was about to lose my mind. Fortunately, I found it after digging in my bag for a while and put it on as quickly as I could. Did I miss any spots?" "You look fine, Daisy," Peach replied with a smile, causing Daisy to light up in response. "So, is everyone ready to play?" "You better believe it." Daisy hopped in the air with an enthusiastic fist pump. "So how are we going to do this?" "I was thinking we could team up against Mario and Luigi," Peach suggested, directing her attention towards the brothers. "Is that all right with you two?" "That's fine with us." Mario beamed as he placed a hand on Luigi's shoulder. Luigi nodded in agreement with a smile of his own. "That settles it then." Peach clapped her hands in delight. "Let me grab the tennis balls and my racket. Then we can get started." With Peach sprinting toward the bench to collect the items, Daisy sauntered toward Luigi with a smile that was a captivating mix of teasing and seduction. She leaned in and cupped a hand to his ear, causing a rush of warmth to flood his face. "Oh, you like my outfit, don't you?" she cooed, prompting a nervous swallow from him. "I had a feeling you would. Don't try to deny it. I saw you checking me out. Truth be told, I'm very flattered." Luigi's body went rigid as Daisy's giggle tickled his ear before she stood upright and flashed him a cheeky smile. At that moment, Peach returned with her racket and tennis balls in hand. Daisy sidled up to Peach, and her smile morphed into a wicked, elfish grin. "No, You boys ready to lose? She taunted with her hands on her hips. Bring it on! Mario shook his fist with competitive enthusiasm. Okay, you two. Peach giggled, her voice light and playful. Let's keep in mind that we're here to enjoy ourselves. She turned her attention to Mario. That being said, don't take it easy on us. I'm going to give my all, and I hope you and Luigi will do the same. We promise we will, Mario assured her. Peach nodded quickly before a bright smile lit her face. All right then, let's begin. Daisy and I will serve first. As the princesses gracefully moved to their designated side of the court, Mario playfully nudged Luigi in the ribs with his elbow, causing Luigi to glare at him. Mario wiggled his eyebrows with a teasing grin before dashing to the opposite side of the court. Luigi shook his head with a resigned sigh before joining his brother, looking forward to what would hopefully be a lively game of tennis. To say things started off rocky for the Mario brothers would be a gross understatement. Due to playing a few games with Peach, Luigi had a solid grasp of her playing style. She favored precision in ball placement and solid defense, since she lacked the physical strength of him and Mario. In stark contrast, Daisy was a whirlwind of energy, who tirelessly raced around the court and smashed the ball with all of her might. She wasn't above aiming directly at Mario and him. The stinging sensations emitting from his body was proof of that. One fierce shot would have hit him in a very vulnerable spot, had he not desperately leaped out of the way at the last minute. Peach's exceptional ball placement paired with Daisy's aggressive gameplay allowed the princesses to dominate the first set effortlessly. Daisy's lively antics and playful trash talk after each point were comical at first, but they soon stoked the competitive fire in the brothers. After the disappointing set, Mario and Luigi regrouped to devise a plan to thwart Daisy's formidable attacks, which had been the primary source of points for the princesses. Luigi stationed himself at the net to intercept Peach's clever lobs, while Mario took charge of the back half, leveraging his quickness to cover more ground. Their strategic adjustments proved effective, as they tied the game by taking the subsequent set. Daisy's frustration and theatrical tantrums during the set provided everyone with plenty of amusement. The Mario brothers narrowly clinched the third set, seizing a 2-1 lead and standing just 1 point away from claiming the fourth set and ultimately the match. A fierce rally unfolded after Luigi's serve, with both sides exchanging powerful volleys. Mario and Luigi targeted the back corners, hoping to catch their opponents off guard. However, they underestimated Daisy's relentless resolve, as she skillfully returned every strike. When Luigi directed a shot right at Daisy, he immediately sensed his blunder as her eyes lit up with excitement. Playfully sticking her tongue out, she sent a powerful shot hurtling toward him. Luigi's feet felt like they were trapped in a block of stone as the screamer approached. He attempted to raise his hands to shield his face in a desperate attempt, but he was too slow. The ball collided with his nose with enough force to weaken his grip on his racket and have his rear end kiss the court's surface. His eyes watered as his hands reactively covered his nose. Fortunately, he didn't feel any broken bones, for which he was both surprised and thankful. Luigi! Daisy's voice pierced the air as she effortlessly vaulted over the net while racing toward him. She knelt down and gently took hold of his wrists, her bright blue eyes searching his with a mix of urgency and concern. Are you okay? A rush of warmth flooded Luigi's cheeks under her gaze, but he quickly found his voice. Yeah, I'm fine. However, the deep furrow in Daisy's brow indicated that her worries weren't assuaged. You sure? It's not that I don't believe you, but I need to see for myself. Before Luigi could protest, Daisy tenderly pulled his hands away from his nose. A gasp from her lips caused a wave of concern to wash over him. Oh no, your nose is all red, Daisy exclaimed remorsefully. She delicately traced the outline of his nose with her fingertips, igniting a flutter in his chest. I'm so sorry, Luigi. I didn't mean to hit you. Hey, it was an accident. Luigi offered her a reassuring smile. I know you didn't mean to hit me, at least not in the face. Daisy flashed a quick smile, but her expression shifted back to worry. Does it hurt? Is anything broken? It did at first, Luigi confessed, Surprised he hadn't yelled out in agony when it happened, he figured the shock of the moment had rendered him momentarily mute, but it's getting better now. I don't think anything's broken. Thank the stars. Daisy exhaled as she gently caressed his nose with both hands. I would hate it if anything were to happen to your cute nose. Daisy calling his nose cute did not escape Luigi's notice. He always considered it too large and longed for a smaller one. The teasing he and Mario endured in their childhood about their noses had left deep scars on his self-esteem. While Mario brushed off the jabs with ease, Luigi found himself sinking deeper into insecurity. Fortunately, Princess Peach seemed to appreciate their noses, especially Mario's, as she was fond of planting sweet kisses on it. Therefore, when others, especially someone as pretty as Princess Daisy, expressed admiration for his nose, his confidence glowed like a sunny afternoon, and her compliment made it hard for him to suppress a smile that threatened to break free. As if to drive her point home, Daisy pressed her lips gently against his nose before he could react. The contact was fleeting, but it was enough to send a jolt of electricity racing through him that made his nose twitch and mustache comically flare out. The heat that rapidly entered his cheeks could have boiled large pots of water in no time flat. She flashed him a radiant grin before rising and heading back to her side of the court, leaving him still spellbound. Luigi placed his fingers on the spot where Daisy had kissed him, and his eyelids drooped into a dreamy haze. Just as a grin threatened to spread across his face, Mario's teasing snicker snapped him back to the present, prompting him to face his older twin. "Hey, Luigi," Mario teased. "It looks like your nose isn't the only thing that's red." "Shut up!" Luigi shot back with mock irritation, causing a ripple of chuckles among the group. Leaping to his feet with renewed energy, Luigi retrieved his racket and grabbed a tennis ball. He made his way back to the corner of the court with determination, eager to unleash another serve. "Luigi!" Peach called out, her voice laced with concern. "Are you sure you can continue? That was quite the blow you took." "I'm fine, Princess." "Thank you," Luigi assured her with a grateful smile. However, it quickly shifted into a cocky grin as he bounced the tennis ball in his hand. "Besides, I can't quit now, not right when we're about to win this game. That's my brother." Mario beamed as he prepared for the next round. "Let's win this thing." "Oh yeah?" Daisy challenged as a competitive grin etched her features. "We'll see about that." Peach smiled serenely before her face shifted into a determined one as she took her position. "Well then, who am I to stop you? However, don't expect Daisy and I to go down so easily." Peach was right. Neither she nor Daisy would back down without a fierce struggle. Every time the brothers seemed poised to clinch the set, the princesses forced deuces. After several intense exchanges and yet another opportunity to seize victory, Luigi observed a pattern in Daisy's movements. He noticed how her knee would bend in the direction she intended to sprint, to intercept their shots. A sly grin threatened to surface as Luigi concocted a plan to exploit Daisy's aggressive playstyle. He leaned in to confide in Mario, ensuring their strategy went unheard by the princesses before preparing to serve once more. As Luigi's serve flew toward her, Daisy returned the ball and quickly positioned herself at the center of the back court. Mario pretended to aim for the right corner, and true to form, Daisy's knee pointed in that direction before taking a few steps. Mario stifled a victorious grin as he sent the ball soaring toward the left corner, making sure he hit it hard enough to get past Peach. Realizing she had misjudged the play, Daisy spun around in a frantic attempt to intercept the ball. However, it landed just out of her reach before bouncing out of bounds, thus sealing both the set and the game for the Mario brothers. Luigi rested his hands on his knees with a relieved smile when Mario lifted him off his feet in a celebratory hug. After Mario put him down, the two exchanged an enthusiastic high five before meeting the princesses at the net. "Great game, you two!" Mario exclaimed as he hugged the princesses. "You gave us all we could handle and then some." Peach beamed at Mario after they broke their hug. She then hugged Luigi. "Congratulations, Mario and Luigi. While the outcome wasn't what I hoped it would be, it was still a lot of fun. Right, Daisy?" "You bet," Daisy replied with a bright grin. Although I don't like losing. At least it was to you two. You guys are a lot better than I thought. Mario rubbed the back of his head with a chuckle. Coming from you, I guess that's a compliment. Thanks, Daisy. Any time, Shorty, Daisy quipped, her light-hearted tone prompting chuckles from everyone around. But as the laughter faded, Daisy's expression turned serious as she focused on Luigi. Luigi, I know I apologized earlier, but I'm really sorry about hitting you in the face. I still feel so guilty about it. My competitiveness got the best of me. Without realizing it, Luigi rested his hand on Daisy's shoulder as a warm smile spread across his face. Hey, as I said before, there's no need to apologize. It was an accident. Still, I feel like I need to make it up to you somehow, Daisy countered, her eyes cast downward. But then, a glimmer of excitement sparked in her eyes as she lifted her head. I know! How about we have dinner tomorrow? My treat! Although it wasn't necessary, Luigi was touched by her offer. Okay, if you insist. I'm sure we're all looking forward to what you'll treat us to. Daisy, however, shook her head as an amused smile spread across her lips. Oh, sweetie, I don't think you understand. When I said, I meant just you and I, as in only the two of us. Luigi's forehead wrinkled in confusion as he tried to decipher what she meant. Yet the phrase you and me lingered in his mind, and clarity gradually washed over him. His eyes widened in astonishment at the implication, and a warm sensation blossomed in his chest. He suddenly became aware of his hand on Daisy's shoulder, and he quickly withdrew it as a rush of heat flooded his cheeks. You mean just the two of us? Like a date? He stammered, surprised he could articulate that. Sure, if that's what you want to think. Daisy giggled as she playfully shrugged her shoulders. Come to think of it, calling it a date has a nice ring to it. Luigi's thoughts were a Jenga tower on the verge of collapse, and Daisy's remark was the piece that caused it to topple. No one had ever asked him out before, and the rare occasions he had tried to initiate the date ended in disaster. Yet here he was, in a foreign land, with a woman, a princess, no less, who had just done so. He wanted to pinch himself, unsure if this was reality or just a beautiful dream. Hey, Luigi, are you still with us? Daisy waved her hand in his face. Laughter then bubbled from her lips as he remained unresponsive. Well, it looks like I broke him. That is, unless you don't want to go out with me. No! Luigi emphatically broke out of his stupor at Daisy's last comment, prompting more laughter from everyone. This was a golden opportunity he couldn't afford to miss. He would have gone as far as to create a clone and instruct it to give him a good kick in the rear for even considering turning it down. I meant yes. I would absolutely love to have dinner with you, Daisy. That perfect smile, the very one that left him utterly speechless upon their first encounter, brightened her face as she slipped an arm across his neck. He tensed up as more blood rushed to his face from the intimacy. Great. For a second there, I thought you didn't like me. We're going to have a great time, I promise you. Speaking of dinner, Peach chimed in, how about you two join us at the castle later tonight? I know everyone would be thrilled to have you. You can count on us, Mario exclaimed enthusiastically. Right, Luigi? Yeah, Luigi sputtered, still rigid under Daisy's affectionate hold. Wonderful! Peach clapped her hands in delight. But for now, I need to head back and freshen up. Toadsworth would certainly not be pleased if I were to attend dinner all sweaty. I'm right with you, Peach, Daisy agreed, as she pulled away from Luigi. She took a quick whiff of her underarm and feigned a dramatic gag. Yuck, I smell like a gutted Taurian. I'd clear the whole table if I showed up like this. Luigi and I could use a shower ourselves, Mario concurred. Well, I guess we'll see you all at the castle tonight. The princesses nodded in agreement as everyone gathered their belongings. They shared warm hugs at the entrance before parting ways. Luigi couldn't wipe the grin off his face as he and Mario made their way home. Not even a hearty slap on the back from Mario could dim his excitement. Way to go, little brother. Mario beamed proudly. "Thanks," Luigi replied, with his grin still stretching his cheeks. He still couldn't believe it. He had a date with Princess Daisy the very next day.